and Maple Grove's going to have it.
Right out in front, they score!
Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of October 26th. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. Today on the show section, soccer finals plus conference champs are crowned in volleyball.
And we'll meet some talented Hopkins boys cross-country runners in our Sports Jam Spotlight. Leading off, Class 6A football playoffs. Armstrong's strong season in football netted the Falcons a second-round matchup against a very good Maple Grove team. First playoff meeting between the two schools since 2009. Third quarter of a 6-6 game, and Armstrong's Collis Barber throws to a wide-open Isaiah Poster. This play covers 62 yards for a touchdown. The conversion try fails, and it's 12-6 Falcons. 3 minutes later, the Crimson answer with a long pass of their own. Brad Davison finding Eddie Lee behind the secondary. This one goes for 68 yards for a score. Extra point is good, and Maple Grove leads 13-12. Under 2.5 minutes to go in the game, and Davison sneaks one in from 3 yards out. Maple Grove adds a 2-point conversion and leads 21-12. But Armstrong moves quickly down the field on their next drive. Thomas Barber with a punishing 10-yard run for a touchdown scores, and it's 21-18. The Falcons, though, need 2 scores to try to win it. And they pull off the onside kick to give them the ball back with just over a minute to play in the game. The Falcons comeback, though, comes up short. Isaac Collins with an interception late seals the win as the Crimson hold on to win 21-18. We'll hear from the Crimson later in the show. Maple Grove now meets Burnsville in the Class 6A quarterfinals. That game is Friday night at 7 o'clock at Hopkins High School.
Wayzata was aiming to return to the state playoffs for the first time since a 6-year run of appearances, the last in 2012. The Trojans rekindled a once-hot rivalry with Cretin-Durham Hall. First quarter, Wayzata's Foster Conzett spins away from the Raiders' defense and zips 26 yards to the end zone for a 14-0 Trojans lead. On the last play of the quarter, Jake Marsh launches a perfect pass to Brady Galbraith, and he fights his way to inside the 15-yard line. The Trojans cap the drive as Marsh floats it to Keyshawn Aluksuk, and he makes a nice one-handed catch for a 21-0 Trojans lead. Cretin gets on the board on a nice throw and catch. Daniel Ryan hits Chris Perry in stride. This one covers 75 yards for the Raiders, and it's 21-7. But Wayzata gets that back with 7 seconds left in the first half. Marsh hits Galbraith for the score, and the Trojans lead 28-7 at the break. Third quarter, Parker Hlavachuk blocks the punt for Wayzata, and Christian Thomas recovers inside the Cretin 10-yard line. On the ensuing drive, Corey King powers in from 1 yard out to give Wayzata a 38-7 lead. The Trojans roll to a 38-14 win. And the Trojans now face East Ridge, the top seed from Section 4 in the state quarterfinals. That's Thursday at 7 o'clock at Edina. Hopkins was hoping to follow up an upset against Rosemount with another road win as they paid a visit to Osseo to take on the Orioles. On the opening drive of the game, Prince Krua takes the handoff and gets in for a touchdown as Osseo goes on top 7-0 after 1 quarter. A big night in store for Krua. Second quarter, and Hopkins quarterback Oscar Johnson throws. The defender is all over Henry Brott, but somehow he makes the catch inbounds. The Royals miss the extra point and trail it 7-6. Osseo comes right back. Krua on a power sweep. He'll squeeze through a hole and shrugs off a tackle attempt and gets to the sideline. He'll win this race, and it covers 68 yards to make it 14-6 Orioles. After a gutsy onside kick recovery, Osseo strikes again as Malik Gaylord throws to Marmar Hughes for 6. Osceo's up 21-6. It's 21-14 at the half. Tied at 21 when Gaylord on play action flips the pass to fullback Christian Tharp, and Osseo takes a 28-21 lead. The big story is Krua on this one. Watch him refuse to go down on this touchdown run. He carries it 45 times for 364 yards. Osseo pulls away to win 56-34.
It's all about heart. Came to the game with a big heart. Coach told him to go hard every play, and that's what you saw.
The Orioles now face 9-1 Lakeville North Thursday night at 7 o'clock at Eden Prairie High School.
Also in 6A, Totino Grace hosted Egan. Ivan Burlock sweeping right, reaching out for the pylon and scores. The Eagles take a 7-3 lead. Next time they go up the middle on the trap play, Brady Bertram dashes in to make it 14-3 Eagles at the half. Third quarter and the Wildcats punting from their end zone. A good punt despite the rush, but Mason Schuler fields it and eludes the first man, gets a block, and despite almost stumbling, gets to the outside, and he is ruled out at the 1 yard line here, but it sets up a Grace touchdown. Next possession, they strike again. Kyle Halverson hits Bertram for the 8 yard touchdown to make it 28-3 Grace. The Eagles defense is solid too. Hunter Christensen gets the sack as Totino Grace wins 35-11. It's a state championship rematch in the quarterfinals this season as Totino Grace now meets Eden Prairie. Eden Prairie beat Totino Grace at the start of the season. His teams play Friday night at Osseo High School.
In Class 5A, Park Center advanced to the Section 5 final with a high-scoring win over Cooper in the semifinals. The Pirates aim to knock off unbeaten Spring Lake Park in the championship game. Trailing 14-0, Amani Hooker takes the handoff left and cuts back, just reaching the goal line, and the Pirates are within 14-7 at the half. Second half, and Zachary Ogile fakes the handoff and keeps it himself to score. The Panthers' lead is back to 14 at 21-7. Fourth quarter now, and Hooker's at quarterback. He scrambles and looks like he'll run, but instead slips the pass to Ty Brooks, who gets a block and gets in to score to make it 21-14. Ogile and the Panthers drive again, though. Ogile gets in to score, but is injured on the play, and this one makes it 28-14. Park Center gets a late TD on a reverse by Brooks, but the Pirates' season ends in a 28-22 loss. And a great run for Park Center and Armstrong, two teams that hadn't typically been having a lot of success lately. They both played well even despite their defeats. Yeah,
Armstrong almost pulling off a late rally there at Maple Grove, but a terrific football game. But in St. Margaret's, we should mention in Class 4A wins their section, a small section, but they're on to the state playoffs.
Yeah, they blasted Richfield 47-7.
We'll take a break. Coming up this week, Jay, the state tennis tournament. We should mention that as well.
Yeah, no local teams entered this time around, but we do have some singles and doubles players. Will be hitting the courts there for that. Next up, conference championships are clinched in volleyball, plus section soccer finals. Welcome back to Sports Jam. The regular season is now in the books in volleyball.
A couple of local teams looked to wrap up conference championships last week, including Champlin Park, hoping to clinch the Northwest Suburban title against Totino Grace. A quick pass, set, and then kill by Janae Alderson gives the Rebels a 10-4 lead in set 2 after they'd won the first set, 25-17. Izzy Ashburn with a back set to Emma Schmidt, who's hit is off the block and down for a point. Champlin Park leads 17-9. But the Eagles close the gap. Francis Wyrock with a nice set to Brooke Sherman for the kill. They get Totino Grace within 2 points, but Champlin Park hangs on to win 25-22. The third set not as close. Ashburn sets to Sydney Hilly for the big swing and kill. Hilly leads the Rebels with 17 kills on the night. Alderson and Hannah Krimble get up for the block on Sherman for a Rebels point. Champlin Park wins in 3 to wrap up the Northwest Suburban Conference Championship.
It means a lot. You know, they've worked really hard over the years to get to this point. We were fortunate to win it last year, and then this year again on our home court against a really good team, senior night. There's lots of things that go into it, so we're excited about it. Now we just got to start moving forward and getting things ready for sections.
The Wayzata volleyball team looked to clinch the Lake Conference title as they hosted Minnetonka. Set point for Wayzata, Mackenzie Greshel with the dig, and then Liz Benson sets to Lauren Jagerson for the kill. And a 2-0 Trojans lead in the sets. But set 3 is a close one. Morgan Baufield with the kill for Wayzata. Then Mackenzie Marion drops the kill in the corner for the Skippers. Samantha Mellon cracks 2 aces in a row for Tonka and a 21-19 lead. But Wayzata comes back. Kate Berg with a dig, and she gets it right back for the kill. And 24-23 Trojans. And Wayzata wins the set 25-23 for the sweep. The Trojans win the conference title, their first since 2010.
We've been talking about this since August. It's really been a great experience that we've actually achieved this goal and that we've worked so hard to earn it. And I mean, we've been talking about sharing it with Eden Prairie, and tonight we just took it and we just wanted it to ourselves in a selfish way, and it was great.
Also, Benilde hoping for a picture-perfect showing against Cooper. Benilde's in red. Paige Mazal and Hannah Miller team up to block McKenna Dale's hit. The Red Knights rolled 25-11 in the first set. In the second set, Cooper's Kylie Christensen sets Lorena Dixon, who tips around the Benilde block here, but the Hawks trail 13-7. The Red Knights pull away. Maddie Markley gets the kill deep middle as Benilde rolls again 25-10 in the second set. Off the Benilde serve, Christensen with a back set to Carolina Ferraz for the kill as the Hawks try to battle back from a deficit. But the Red Knights dominate in the third set as well as they win it in 3 over Cooper. That brings us to playoff time in volleyball. Section play starts early this week. Wayzata's 2 head-to-head wins over Champlain Park are in the Trojans, the #1 seed in Section 5 3A, with the Rebels second. Delano is the 3rd seed, followed by Blaine, Osseo, and Maple Grove. Park Center is back in Class 3A. The Pirates are seeded 12. Park Center plays at Osseo Tuesday, while Maple Grove hosts Coon Rapids. The top 4 seeds have byes into Thursday's quarterfinals at home sites.
In Section 6 3A, Hopkins is the #2 seed behind Minneapolis Washburn. Jefferson is 3rd and Benilde St. Margaret's 4th. Armstrong is the #7 seed and Cooper 10th. It's a District 281 matchup as Cooper plays at Armstrong in the first round Tuesday. The top 4 teams have byes into the section. And the quarterfinals are Thursday at the high seeds. Also, Heritage Christian Academy is the #1 seed in Section 4A. Now to soccer, where 3 local Class AA teams played in section championship games. That includes the Wayzata girls, who faced Washburn in the Section 6 AA championship. Scoreless until midway through the second half when freshman Marley Rogers lasers the goal in for a 1-0 Millers lead. That's the score with less than a minute to go in regulation, with the Wayzata corner kick here knocked around in front and goes off a Washburn player and in. And we go to overtime. Bailey Hyde's right-footed shot is blocked, but she steps up and nails it with the left foot and scores the game-winning goal in OT. The Trojans win 2-1. They advance to the state tournament. Maple Grove lost to Centennial in the Section 5 final. #4 seed Wayzata now takes on a familiar rival in the state quarterfinals as they face #5 seed Eden Prairie. The Trojans and Eagles split 2 regular season meetings, and they'll play Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at Chisago Lakes High School.
Park Center's boys were looking to advance to state for the first time since a runner-up finish in 2004. The Pirates hosting Mounds View for the Section 5 AA title. Alex Zolnowski sends a great pass into the box to Sam Moses for the header. Park Center's on the board. They lead this game 1-0 at halftime. The Pirates are awarded a penalty kick, and Jet Tepananse makes it count, burying the shot. Park Center goes up 2-0. Mounds View isn't done, though. The long free kick by Armando Jenkins Vasquez is into a mass of players in front off the crossbar and crosses the goal line. The Mustangs pull to within 2-1. But Park Center gets an insurance goal. Kwateh here with the steal, and he gets it to Moses for the shot. 3-1 lead. That's the final score. The Pirates head to state for the second time ever. The Pirates are the #3 seed for the Class AA tournament. They meet St. Cloud Tech in the quarterfinals Wednesday night at 7:30 at Farmington High School.
Spots in the Class A girls and boys soccer tournaments were up for grabs Friday. Breck shut out top seed Tutina Grace 2-0 to win the Section 5A boys title. The Mustangs meet Sartell St. Stephen in the state quarterfinals Wednesday at 7:30 at Benilde St. Margaret's High School. The Benilde girls are headed to the state tournament after a 3-0 win over Blake in the Section 5A final. Top seed Benilde takes on Sartell St. Stephen as well. That's Thursday at St. Cloud State in the quarterfinal. Could be some sketchy weather coming up for state soccer this week.
Not like we haven't seen that before in some of these past playoffs. It seems like the state quarterfinal round is always the time that comes. Well, next up in our Sports Jam Spotlight, a look at the very successful Hopkins boys cross country team.
Some of the top cross-country runners in the state will compete this Wednesday at the Section 6 AA meet at Gale Woods Farm in Minnetrista. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet a talented group of runners from a team taking aim at a state title this fall. The Hopkins boys cross-country team was off and running 2 months ago, and they haven't looked back since. The Royals are the top-ranked team in Class AA and have won going away in just about every meet they've entered.
It's been so much fun. Like, this group of guys most of us were all in the same kindergarten, elementary school, and we've kind of come up through the ranks, I guess.
It's been amazing, you know. We had a great season last year with our team, and this year's just been even better. It's like every time we go out, we seem to do really well. We seem to just been bonding as a team throughout the season too. I don't think any team's been closer than we are this year.
Hopkins placed second to Wayzata in Class AA at state a year ago. That high finish pushed this group of returning runners in the off-season.
It motivated them. We went up against some great teams last year. We were lucky to get to the state meet from our section, as we would be this year. To take second to a team that was the national caliber that they were at Wayzata, it spurred that they can do the same going into the off-season into this upcoming season.
The Royals are led by 4 seniors from Golden Valley: Sam Branson, Jack Henschel, Owen Haft, and Hunter Stack. This season is one the guys have had their eyes on for a while.
We all went to the same elementary school together, so we've been growing up since kindergarten. At least the 4 of us, Owen, me, Jack, and Sam.
Over the last probably 7 years or so, we've spent like so much time together, and like these are some of my best friends, and it's just a blast to all be doing so well.
Junior Seth Eliason is the one non-senior among the team's top 5 runners, and amidst the tough competition the Royals often face in meets, pushes this team even harder.
I like having a lot of competition like that. It just makes you that much better, and the Wayzata and Edina guys are great guys. We hang out with them all the time, and it's just fun competition. It's nice to be able to run fast with other guys that can run fast.
Hopkins is not only #1 in the state, but also ranked 7th nationally. Still, the Royals know that it will be a tough battle to reach the state meet. Edina and Wayzata are ranked 2nd and 3rd in Class AA behind Hopkins, and only 2 of those teams advanced to state out of this week's Section 6 AA meet.
That's the whole game right there, because those teams, Wayzata and Edina, so those are our biggest competition in the region and even like in the nation. And so like every day at practice, we don't really talk about it that much, but we know in the back of our minds like who we're stacking up against and who we got to beat.
We have a ton of respect for Edina and Wayzata. The last 2 years, 3 years, they've made the national meet and finished in the top 10. Wayzata runner-up last year at the Nike Cross Nationals race, and Edina finishing 9th, I believe.
Hopkins last won a state cross-country championship in 2002. While bringing home another championship trophy is the goal, the Royals haven't let it become their only focus.
I think we've tried to keep things really low-key because we know that the other conference schools, they could certainly take it away from us at any moment, any race. And going to sections, there's only 2 teams that are going to advance, and we'll be very privileged to be one of those teams to represent 6AA at the state meet.
It would mean a lot. It'd be really fun to get a state championship. We were close last year. We got 2nd, but I think getting that 1st place trophy in the case would be nice to get a little something after all the hard work that we put in this summer.
It would be awesome. We haven't won since I think 2002, so yeah, it'd be everything. Like that's been our main goal since 7th grade.
The top 2 teams, both boys and girls, will advance from this week's section meets to the state cross-country meet November 7th in Northfield. I'll talk football with the Maple Grove Crimson when Sports Jam returns. Welcome back to Sports Jam. As you saw earlier in the program, the Maple Grove football team has advanced into the state playoffs, 3rd year in a row for the Crimson, and they join us now on the show. And we'll start with Leroy Kwateh. And Leroy, great defensive battle on both sides of the ball, really, against Armstrong in the 2nd round game. What was the play like down here on the field?
I mean, they run pretty strong, but our defense, we studied really hard this week. We tried to learn all their plays and just beat them to the spots and play hard and play our defense and don't play their level.
How much has this defense improved since game 1 against Osseo to where you guys are right now?
I mean, we would get wrong calls in. We wouldn't get the calls in sometimes. We blitz the wrong gaps. I mean, we've come a long way, and I think we're going to go long.
You're down to the final 8 again in Class 6A. A lot of good teams, but how proud of you, of this team, are you to get into that final 8?
I mean, I'm really proud. I mean, I didn't play last year. I came up this year and I was ready to go. I'm ready just to win it this year and take it all home.
Congratulations. Enjoy this one. Get ready for Burnsville next week.
Thank you.
Kayode, Awosika, playing on both sides of the football. How much fun has that been for you to be a two-way player more this year, playing both offensive and defensive line?
Oh, it's a great time. I love it so much, and with the opportunity Lombo gave me to play both sides, I really appreciate it. Having the last captain, Schultz, do it before, I was kind of hoping to step up and fill his role as much as I could, so it's a great honor.
Tough win against Armstrong, tough game. What was like playing against a Falcons team that played you right up until the end?
Oh, it was good. It was a great game. They fought hard just like we did. We kind of let up at the end with their hurry-up offense. We got to know how to stop their momentum and come back strong. We're going to definitely learn that when we go out for step 3. But yeah, they're a great team. They have great players, great athleticism, and props to them for what they showed out there.
Into the state playoffs again. How much fun is that?
It's a great time. There's nothing like it to come back here for the 3rd time. It's just an amazing feeling. And with Crimson family that we have and all the fans that show up, rain or snow or anything, it's just an amazing feeling.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Coach Lombardi, a tough game against Armstrong. This was a fun football game to watch. Maybe not so much fun to coach when it gets down to the wire like that, but what are your feelings overall?
Hey, when you win in the playoffs, you're proud. I think give Armstrong a lot of credit. They played their hearts out. That's a group of kids that have been together a long time, coming up through the ranks, and with Thomas and the Thompson boys and Leas and those guys. I know they've had a great friendship for a long time, and they're great athletes. And so we knew we were coming into a team that had a lot of talent and a lot of desire, and we were going to have to play very well to beat them.
How do you feel your team overall is playing on both sides of the football at this point in the season?
You know, I think we're battling. I think we made a lot of mistakes, a lot of little penalties that add up. That were little 5-yard penalties here, 10-yard penalties on offense, so we couldn't really get a flow going. And then defensively, I think we learned a lesson that even though you got a lead, you still got to play your style, and you don't just kind of sit back on your heels and try to preserve something. I think that was a good lesson for them. But hey, Armstrong was a great team. We're excited to be in the final 8, and step 3 is coming up, and that's all you can ask for.
Burnsville's up next. What do you know about the Blaze?
Hey, they're an 8-1 or 9-1 team. Play, I think, very tough defense in a very good league down there. I know they got a lot of good athletes. A couple of them are going to the U, I think. And so we feel very fortunate to be alive through this round, and our kids are very excited, and we need to become a better team next week.
Good luck against Burnsville.
Hey, thank you.
Maple Groves advances. They win over Armstrong and again on to the 6A quarterfinals and the state playoffs. As we go to break, here's a look at our plays of the week and the 6A playoff matchups this coming week.
Our games of the week are 2 from the State Class 6A football quarterfinals. Osseo meets Lakeville North Thursday night at 7 at Eden Prairie. Watch the replay Saturday morning at 10. Friday night, it's Maple Grove and Burnsville playing at Hopkins High School. Catch the replay of that game Saturday night at 7 on Channel 12 and 12.tv.
And that'll do it for this week's show. Thanks for watching.
We'll have state soccer, football, and tennis next week, plus section volleyball and cross country. See you next time on Sports Jam.